Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday's Market Intel Brief. Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz, and hopefully everybody had a good, relaxing weekend, and all the mothers out there had a good and relaxing Mother's Day. My mom heading, unfortunately, back to COVID ground zero today, New York Hospital, to get her stitches out from her cancer surgery. Not super fun, fantastic news. They found something. I don't know, in the film, the PET scan, whatever. I've lost track of the analogy, so she's got to do another 2 rounds of chemo. But today she's getting her stitches out. So, she's above ground, and every day above ground for any of us is good. So. Had a good time talking to her yesterday, and we're going to talk tonight about next steps with my mom. Real quick, though. Happier news, Byron Sullivan, Shrek, call sign Shrek, great friend of mine. Unfortunately, this past weekend should have been out in beautiful Yuma, Arizona. Was going to fly out to San Diego with the family, hop in a car and drive down across Interstate 8 out to beautiful Yuma and hang out with Shrek and his family for the weekend. Why? Because Colonel Sullivan is now the commanding officer of VMX-1. That's Marine Op Test and Eval Squadron 1. This guy, talk about a bagger here, man. This guy gets to fly. He just got qualified in the F-35, the Joint Strike Fighter. He's a Hornet guy like me. Gets to fly the V-22. I don't know if you want to fly helicopters, man. They scare me. But God bless Shrek and his family. He's out on the tip of the spear. Unfortunately, he couldn't have a formal change of command, obviously, because of everything that's going on in the country. But when the country opens up, we're going to get as many TGO folks out to see Shrek and have a party for his change of command, because that's a big deal, folks. The Test and Eval Squadron, along with kind of their weapons school squadron, their MOTS, is the elite. So Shrek, there's Shrek, there's me. This is our Top Gun graduation picture. Shrek actually went through the hard course, and as a Marine, that meant he had to eat extra crayons. Me, I went through the slack-jawed adversary reserve program. Need a haircut, clearly. So Shrek and I go ways back, and congratulations, brother. It is much deserved. Get uglier, folks, with the United States and China. This is from last week. Coronavirus cast a deep chill over U.S.-China relations, and the New York Times broke this weekend. Or actually this morning, I'm sorry. U.S. to accuse China of trying to hack vaccine data as virus redirects cyber attacks. So now the Chinese are not only unleashing this on the world, and this was great. I think it was over the weekend. Mike Pompeo said this, this is a live drill. China's doing this to see how much power they got and where they're poking and where the weak spots are, man. This is bad. Iran and other nations are also looking to steal data and exploit the pandemic with attacks on infrastructure. Fan-freaking-tastic. Thanks for getting us sick, China, destroying our economy, and now you're trying to cyber attack us. So as pandemic spreads, regard for China recedes in the West. The EU, folks, is starting to really turn pretty sour on China. So shooting wars can start like this, folks. Remember back in the old days, the Phase 1 trade deal? Nobody does trade deals better than me. Tremendous trade deal over. None of that stuff is even talked about anymore, as we're essentially in a war with China right now. It's just not declared, but you would know it based on looking at our stock market, looking at other stuff. But as we all know, the stock market is not the economy. But a lot of the world souring on China, folks. Last week, this was just insane. But 20.5 million jobs shed. We haven't seen this since 39? I mean, my God, folks, this was, by comparison, nearly 2 million jobs were lost in 1 month in 1945 at the end of World War II. All right, done. Factories, tanks, everybody, now you're all unemployed. This is just, it's staggering. You can't even, folks. But here's the problem, and I'm warning Trump right now. You ready for this, Mr. President? Particularly large increases in unemployment among women, college dropouts, and Hispanics. That's not a good demographic to be unemployed going into an election, Mr. President. You need to wake up. But America's smallest stocks are staging a comeback, right? Rally stands in contrast to economic data showing unprecedented job losses, man. This is just not, it really is a tale of two markets. This week, though, I'm most likely going to sit on my hands. This is a gathering week. This is a popcorn week. Right down here in Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade counties, we're finally quote open or soft opening, and the country's trying to get back to work here. But these headlines aren't too good. Look at this. Pence self-isolates. White House races to contain outbreaks. New hotspots in Germany. Virus enters through the eyes. Death toll could be double, restart, or stop. So we're starting to open, and there's a lot of bad starting to come out. This week was going to be a shit show in the Senate, maybe. Fauci, the Democrats are already gearing up for another, investigation and everything like that, even though they should be in jail. Barack Hussein Obama is an effing disgrace. He was an effing disgrace. Now he was absolutely involved in the Flynn and the collusion and the trying to clip an incoming president. Watergate was nothing. Richard Nixon is spinning in his grave. Obama needs to go to jail. You're a disgrace, you piece of shit. And Joe Biden too. Though of course the White House knew. People are shocked that the White House knew. It was in the adulterous FBI lover's texts. What part of the text that said the White House wants to be kept informed don't you understand, people? People need to go to jail. Jim Comey needs to go to jail. Strzok, McCabe, all those people need to be going to jail. They destroyed General Flynn. Where does he go to get his money back, his reputation back, and everything? It's a disgusting. And Bob Mueller, don't give me any bullshit. Like Bob Mueller was a Marine. Bob Mueller's a piece of shit too. He knew when he started that Mueller investigation that there was zero collusion. It was made up, and he didn't. He knew there was illegal wrongdoing, and he ignored it. You can go to hell, Bob Mueller, and stick your Marine Corps up your ass. Anyway, other than that, Ms. Lincoln, how was the play? Former JP Morgan economist, we're heading towards a Weimar Republic inflation setup. Real quick, though, I love how people are like, so I love when Democrats use people's military experience like, as something good. Like just because serving in the military prevents you from being an idiot. I served with a lot of idiots in the Marines and the Navies. Bob Mueller didn't serve with them. He's an idiot. Former JP Morgan, we're heading towards a Weimar Republic inflation setup. We talked about this last week. Why do you have to pay taxes? Somebody explain to me why you have to pay taxes when the Federal Reserve is just sitting there 24/7 printing money out of the back of a Kia with ink and paper. Why are we paying taxes, folks? Biblical wave of bankruptcies are about to flood the United States. Fed is propping up companies it had warned banks not to touch. That's interesting. Hedge funds that I know that got saved by the Fed should have been allowed to fail. So the rich are getting richer as the poor are getting poorer. That is not going to be good for the future. Don't look to the stock market to tell you when the virus crisis is over, because the stock market's already saying this is over, man. There's an implosion. There's half the implosion. We're already forgetting what coronavirus, right? But we have got to open the country. The worst jobs report in history shows why the economy must open, folks. It's too late. I mean, I did my best Paul Revere impersonation back in January and February. Didn't happen. Called a traitor. Called this. And then boom. Now it's too late, folks. It's too late to contain it. Now, unfortunately, people die, man. Nobody makes it out alive, folks. This is what I really don't understand. Locking this country down from this point forward is nothing but a political ploy by Democratic governors. That's it. We have got to get airborne. Factories are closing for good. There are some manufacturers that furloughed employees during lockdown says they will never reopen again. So some of these 20, 30 million Americans that are out of work, they're not getting recalled to a job, folks. And some people that are unemployment ain't going back to work because they're getting paid more on unemployment to work, and ordinary Americans are getting super pissed. So we need to open. We do. We need the hope as well as safety. Good write up by Peggy Noonan in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. We'll talk about this week. Great article in the Journal about Elon Musk, tech's cash poor billionaire. I didn't know the numbers, man. The dude literally is broke. He's rich on paper. He has to like borrow money from his brother to get lunch. And we'll talk more about that during the week. Okay, like I said, but we got weekly options coming up here at the top of the hour at high noon. Then we got solo Amazon after that. Amazon's just my God, the gift that keeps on giving. AMZN. Wow, look at that. Up another $27 today. $2,400 stock. All-time highs out of Amazon. When this pandemic is over and there's nobody else standing, Amazon will be standing. It will have sucked up all the life of everybody that's gone, all the small businesses that have gotten destroyed. It's insane, but hey, we're bullish and long-term bullish on Amazon. Love it. Okay, have a great rest of your day. I'll see many of you in weekly options at noon or solo Amazon at 2. God bless. I'll talk to you.